Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, December 31st, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to go right to the near term and just, this is kind of what I would call kind of our 2 to 3 week time horizon trade setup. Still buying any dips into the mid to upper 120s, 125.88 to 128.28 area. Now, I will also mention that it was a couple of weeks ago that we tested that inside channel on the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, and I don't mean to keep throwing different numbers at you, I would rather use the daily chart for the fine tuning, but just know that after having actually tested the 130.34 channel bottom, this market is likely over the next, well, we've come close to testing it already, the 143.01 channel top, possibly today, and yes, over the coming couple of months, 165.79 in reach. Now, if we can close today above 143.01, then this is rising and pulling away consistently. I'm going to say by the end of February or sooner. It could be a significant rally that yields by the end of January, but more than likely more in the 5 to 8 week category, by which point it will be well into the 170s if we close above 143.01 today. But I'm going to take us back to the daily chart because these are the key levels. I've got 140.08. I've reduced that to an intraday support or resistance level. We just came off yesterday, the 50% retracement at 134.38. The low yesterday, Monday, was 134.02, held nicely. And also the inside channel at 140.08 held. But we also had an outside day. We closed higher on the day. This suggests a stable market and even a bullish market short term. So I do think there's a good chance that we'll push through 140.08 today, and if so, 143.01 is likely. 143.01, this descending channel top, able to contain buying for the week itself, and once tested by the end of next week, we can fall back into what is now 125.88 to 128.28 and climbing. 125.88 to 128.28 can contain selling through January, possibly even into later first quarter, and above which, once again, the mid 160s and climbing remains in reach over the next 2 to 3 months. If we close above 143.01 over the next 3 to 5 weeks, as outlined earlier in this video. Downside today, if we happen to close below 134.38, no good reason to stay long Nvidia through the rest of the week. Over the next few days, we should fall back into this 125.88 to 128.28 area where we can bottom out, as I say, through February, and above which, or once tested, whichever you prefer. I mean, we have already tested this formation on the weekly chart, so you can say above which, over the next several months, we're expecting the mid 160s in climbing. You can also say once tested, we can anticipate the mid 160s in climbing within 2 to 3 months. It's just that a settlement above 143.01 is the accelerator and should then yield a more protracted rally into the mid 160s and climbing over the following 3 to 5 weeks or so, as shown here on this chart. On the way up, of course, we have that high at 152.89. If we close today above 143.01, it is certainly possible. And it is considered eventual that we will close above 143.01 because we did test this mid to upper 120s about a couple of weeks ago on the weekly chart. We are now expecting within 2 to 3 months the mid 160s, as I've said. So an eventual settlement above 143.01 does set that up within 3 to 5 weeks. Within 3 to 5 days, we should see 152.89, that November 24 all-time high, if we happen to close, say today, above 143.01. Now, it's not going to happen today. Actually, let me show one more chart because I've got 146.54 here, that if we do rally significantly today and push through 143.01, this 146.54 1-week channel top is likely where we could top out through the rest of the day. And if we close today above 143.01, 152.89 is likely by the end of next week. And once again, if we close above 143.01, are already targeted 165.79, likely by the the end of February or sooner. Now, the only scenario in which I see playing the short side longer term would come with the settlement today, and it's not going to happen below 125.88. And that would be a meaningful sell signal through January. I would expect 114.45, that 5/8 downside Fibonacci, within a full week, 2 at the most. And over the next month or two, possibly within 3 to 5 weeks, 102.26. Longer term channel support, able to contain selling into the second quarter. And from here, we can round up nicely. So, if we close below 125.88, no good reason to stay long Nvidia as we continue through the month of January. You can set a trade that could be reaching for 103 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for at least 2 to 3 months on that perceived 3 to 5 week sell-off. Until then, if we slip into the mid to upper 120s and you're a near-term options trader, you might reach for, the 140, 142 strike out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a couple of weeks. Or perhaps maybe you reach for the 170, 165, 170 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least, I'd go 6 months out on that, really kind of a 1 to 2 month play. I hope this all makes sense. I want to ask you to please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. We offer daily triple Q, daily SPY analysis, weekly analysis in Apple stock, NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, and 2 individual stock picks every week that cater to the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month position trader, always looking for 20% moves at least on those underlying stock picks. I'll be back for Thursday's NVIDIA. Of course, we're off Wednesday with New Year's Day, so have a great New Year's Day with friends and family. We'll be back with Thursday's NVIDIA, and you have a great evening.